what are you indirectly preaching? It's something that's very important to me when it comes to sharing the gospel message in another country, specifically doing mission work. I go over to Nicaragua, and we're going over to Mexico very soon, and then we're going back to Japan. When we go over to Nicaragua, for example, they're looking at what I'm wearing. They're looking at my hygiene. They're observing how I talk, because it's a different type of Spanish. And they're picking up on all these like very subtle nuances. Another nuance, which is, apparent, is I'm a foreigner. And to some people, that foreignness is that life spice that, it's like that, ooh, oh my gosh, someone else from another country. It's an appreciation. It's great. It's love. It's all that stuff. But at the same time, it can be a vanity point. And I've been very afraid of using vanity as a conduit for evangelism. When the Lord was moving a lot, and I really took it to heart to go to Japan, and it was revealed that's where I will be doing mission work in Japan. I started to ask myself some questions, because Japan is a nation that has existed a lot longer than America. It's as old as like the Bible. They're that old. And so there's some venerability. So you got to give them props, especially like China, for example, another old nation as well. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, well, like, what is this nation about? And so I think it's very important for a missionary to do their research and learn. And so I begin to learn about Francis Xavier and how he wanted to evangelize Japan. He was an ambassador. And that's where a lot of misunderstanding happened when it comes to what Japan's expectations for these priests as ambassadors, as opposed to the Catholic Church and Christianity and their expectations of Christianity, or evangelism, based on being an ambassador. All right. So there's that misunderstanding. I saw that and I'm like, oh, snap. And some things are unavoidable. But some things you should be aware of it, right? So little by little by little. And so right now, in the 90s, what happened with America? Well, America was heavily impacted by very large worship teams. And it was Hillsong in Australia. And they had their own band. Their church had a worship team. This is when they kind of started. They had a worship team, but they had this band that would go out. And so in the 90s, you saw these young rockers, and they're just like, they're young and they're fresh and they're worshiping like crazy. And even before them and this, like the Aftermath album and all these very great like rock Christian albums, there was this gospel band that did that. And so what happened? Well, now churches are being like, oh, we should sound like this. And so is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. Make your own. That's for you, whatever. Comments below. All right. But now these Christians are like, well, we want to sound like them. Now these churches are like, well, we want to sound like them too. We should hire people, musicians. We should, and then there's like a vanity part where it's like, no, our church should look like this. And that's a major issue. Where does this, all right. So now worship, now you get these bands, and then you get a lot of alternative Christian rock here in America, and Christians are like tattooed and not saying anything. Just drop your comments below. But if you're listening to me, you get what I'm saying. So like Christians are discovering a different culture, a rock, an alternative, POD, all this stuff. And it starts now. Christians don't look like the Christians in the late 80s and early 90s. And so there's this like look that's happening. what happens is now mission starts to hit Asia, and it starts to hit Japan, for example. And right now, there are so many Japanese culture. They have their own style, GU, Uniqlo, all these. Japan has always been fashionable. Bars, always been fashionable. But there is this fashion of lifestyle that's been hitting. It's been hitting here, but it's been this vanity point. Go to a church, go to a modern big church that has a coffee house now. Coffee houses didn't exist in the 90s in churches. They were sanctuaries now, but that I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying it. Leave your comments wherever in the comment section. But now there's this style, and like some girls, for example, do the modest is hottest thing. And these are the girls in modern America that look like Little House on the Prairie girls. And you've seen them, and they're here on TikTok. They are, they are, and they make their Christianity and their profile about notebooking, scrapbooking, and making sourdough bread. I'm making sourdough bread. Well, I'm in the process of making sourdough bread myself. I'm saying it because it fits the fashion. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so, all right, so this fashion is hitting. And you have like Gen Z going around, and Gen Z is beige hoodies, essentials, what are the Nike, what is that Nike shoe, the high top Nike shoe that people wear to the gym? It's not like a running shoe. It's like the high top. I have a pair of those Nike shoes because they fit. And so you see people wearing beige hoodies, essential, fear of God, essentials. And they are wearing like jeans, acid wash. It's not like skinny jeans anymore. This style is going into Japan, and it bothers me because what does that have to do with Christ on the cross? It has something to do with being a part of a group, being accepted, but it's a major point of concern. And when it comes to missions, there should be a blank slate, no room for bias or discrimination. Your aim shouldn't be to go to Japan or when you're doing missions, going to a place and indoctrinating with a preference for language, indoctrinating with a preference or style towards music, towards worship, towards lifestyle. It should just be Jesus. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you're wanting to do missions, I think another one of the most important things that you should do is truly become culturally sensitive. Like, take a step back, like do some research, some sociological YouTubing, and just trying to reach out to people of that culture, of different age groups, and read the room. I want to know what you think. Comment, and God bless.